So what I was going to say is when you stop concentrating on the world,
Yeah.
and it's part of the reason that I haven't been able to come back to. I was saying to somebody the other day, I haven't watched any TV shows that I'm really into. I haven't watched a game of football this year. Literally,
Yeah.
have not watched one game of football this year.
Yeah. Probably for the best. I don't know if you've been keeping up on.
I mean, yeah. I mean, there's been some highs and lows. There's been a lot going on, but it's because of nothing. You can't just do anything anymore in the way that we used to do it.
Yeah.
Right. Like
Yes.
it is, can't just watch the game. Then there's the infrastructure around the game, or
Yeah.
the podcast, or the debates, or the discussion.
Yeah.
And it's the same with news. You can't just read one article about what's happening in Gaza, because then if you click through, there's going to be a hot take on this and another take on this and a person debating this and a
Yeah.
person picking apart that thing. And then there's going to be a 3-hour podcast and somebody doing a review of that 3-hour podcast. And as soon as you're in that infrastructure, I think that you end up knowing more, but absolutely less than what you knew in the first place. And I wonder, and this is not me abdicating from you having any responsibility, but here's what I've noticed in the time that I haven't been paying attention to things. No one's missed me. There's not one thing where they've gone, oh, you know what?
That's not true. I've missed you.
But yeah, but in a practical sense.
All right.
But
No
it's
one's
not
missed
like-
your contribution
That's
to
right.
world events.
We feel like we need to be across these things, kind of on this thing that we've been
A lot of listeners have
conditioned
missed
into
you.
us.
A lot of listeners that want to know your, like, especially in the footy pod, there's been a lot of people saying, when's Will coming back? I need to know what he thinks of this or that.
But we've been conditioned to the idea that we need to be informed because we are going to be called upon
Yes.
at some stage
Yeah.
to like have an informed opinion about. My phone has not rung once with anybody going, hey, mate, we're having a lot of trouble in the Middle East. Could you please switch back on? Eyes up, buddy. We need your help.
It is funny because you do, like, we are in that age of, like, people jumping on their social media or whatever it is to do a declaration about
Yes.
their views on A, B, or C. And it is that thing of, like, it makes you feel good, but it doesn't actually affect anything. Like, and it just adds to the kind of noise.
And I'm not sure it does make you feel good. It might make you feel
In
good
the
in the
moment.
moment.
Yeah.
But does it make you feel good in the grand scheme of... Anyway, I'm not saying that I'm going to police how anyone else is interacting. I'm just saying that for a person like me who has lived my entire life, like genuinely, like from the minute I went to university, it was drilled into us, information. And, you know, it's kind of a cliche about my career and what I've done is that I was always the person who had the stack of newspapers, we'd get up in the morning, have all the information. That was part of what I did. And yet, when I was forced not to be involved in that,
Yeah.
when I stopped watching television,
Yeah.
when I got last night, because I knew we had a big day today, it's our first day back podcasting. I'll be a bit vulnerable about it and say that I've been worried about like coming back because I don't know if I do feel like I am ready to be back talking yet. And because there's so much I don't feel right. And my world feels like it's really substantially changed so much that I'm still really working that out. And it feels a bit scary to come back. And so last night I was like, what will I do to prepare myself properly for today?
Yeah.
And what I did was I was in the hotel room I was in, I had a bath, and then I just like read a book, an entire book from start to finish, like a 400-page book from start to finish. And it was great. It was such a great book. I actually really recommend it to people. It's a first-time novelist. It's called Fruit Fly.
Yeah.
It's great. It's kind of like a satire of like a writer who adopts a drug addict young gay guy, like not adopts, but like tries to steal his story. It's fun. It's a really great like satire of writing and modern trends, and it's a great first-time novel. It's got that real energy of like. Now, some might argue that is no different to me spending 4 hours flicking through social media or Netflix or going online and reading about the news. And I think there's probably valid arguments that is the case. But what I would say is that for me, that is like the world that is me engaging in the world in a way that I feel like I can engage in the world. And that like, I'm like, that's great. I read a book. I felt more calm myself. My brain feels like it got good exercise. I got introduced to a whole new world of thinking about things that I wouldn't normally. And I picked this book because the runner at Gruen, who's like a young woman who's like, you know, I was like, she was reading it and I was like, oh, what's that? And she kind of gave me the spiel and I was like, great. I'm going to read something that I would not pick up in the shop if it was my sort of thing. Loved it.
Yeah.
I wonder if we have been, because we only have so much time and so much intellectual energy to concentrate on anything. Have we not been, is there an argument that one newspaper a day and 1/2 hour of news was the right amount?
And Doctor Who. The
Yeah.
goodies and Doctor Who.
I'm not saying we have to go back with everything, but that we've disproportionately given an amount of
Yes.
our brains and time
Yeah.
into thinking that we need to know all this stuff that we don't
Yeah.
need to know, and that perhaps isn't giving us the joy that we think that it is giving us.
But I also think too, it's also, yes, there's the conscious decision that I need to be informed, and so you'll seek out that. But then there is also the subconscious control or the dopamine hit you get from engaging or being sucked into some kind of debate or conflict or whatever, or pick a side. You know, you're for this or you're against this, and so you don't even realize you're doing it, but you are getting adrenalized
Yes.
because of where do you stand on this issue that you must have an opinion on. And, it's the privilege of, you don't have to think about this. And, well, I don't want to be privileged. I better think about this. And then it's like, well, I can't affect the outcome. I mean, I'm like you in that the last 3 or 4 months have done a lot of
By the way, I would say just
Yeah.
on that, the privilege of not thinking about it, I think that can be a con as well. If you are not thinking and you can think about it in forums that are not that forum.
Yes.
That's the caveat I would add.
yes.
I agree that it is a privilege to not have to think about it at all, or to be able to remove these issues or this perspective from your life. That is a privilege, and I'm not advocating for that. I'm just advocating for, is there a better way that we can be thinking about the issues in the world than the infrastructure that they have set up to kind of...
Because the opposite is the David Brent of it all. Like when they were doing the episode of The Office where it's like they're raising money just for laughs or whatever it was, and he does that really lame we should put the number for our starving Africans down at the bottom, and it's such a token gesture. Like there's obviously no thought behind it, and that is the feeling you get when you see a lot of this stuff where people are having an opinion. It's like, yeah, but is there a better forum for this? If this is something you're very passionate about, does just airing that and putting that out there, that's not serving anything.
Everyone relax!